right, thank you for that very kind introduction. I'm really excited to be able to introduce you to Olas if you're new, and if you're not, then bear with us. Hopefully you'll learn something new. So today I want to take you through a bit of a vision of the trajectory of where AI is currently going, the problem with that, the potential solution, and how we're trying to solve it at Olas. We'll also look into how it's maybe a bit different to other projects, but also able to interoperate with these standardization protocols that are emerging. So, first of all, where are we today? Well, everybody in this room knows that AI is growing extremely fast, but there's this central question in Web3 of who actually owns it. And so, if we continue on the current trajectory, then we have a replication of Web 2, which is something that we would describe as a rent-only model, right? If you think about ChatGPT, similar platforms, you're paying a subscription in order to use these services, and there's many, many of us doing so and getting a lot of value from them because they're excellent products. But unfortunately, the decisions about how these platforms are run are controlled by very few people. And so you have situations like OpenAI updates their model, and a load of people lose access to their AI boyfriends or something similar, right? So unfortunately, there's major drawbacks to renting instead of owning. Another drawback, as we touched on earlier, is the privacy risk. I think most of us probably have used these products, and if we were to go home today and say, no holds barred, what do you know about me? We might not be too happy with the results. And thirdly, as we mentioned, these platforms are extremely successful. That's creating a lot of value. Someone is making a lot of money, but it's not the users who have contributed the value which makes them so successful. And so there's many problems with the current trajectory. Instead, there are alternative ways. We think that AI should be co-owned, and we inherit here from movements that came before us. Own your keys to own your coins from the cypherpunk movement. Own your code to own your destiny from the open source movement. And own your weights to own your brain, which is so important in the age of AI. And so how are we doing this today? As we said, Olas is the platform for owning and monetizing your AI agents, making it co-ownable. And so one of our offerings, which you're hearing about at the bar today, is Pearl, the AI agent app store, enabling anyone to own your agent. So what do we mean by own your agent? Well, the app store enables you to download the application, press start on an autonomous agent, which is fully self-custodial. Its funds are sitting in a safe, and like the benefits of Web3 is that if everything was to fall down tomorrow on the Olas side or the Pearl side, which I'm not expecting, then your funds would still be sat in your agent's safe. It also runs locally on your own device, so you're not relying on centralized servers. And as we said, they are working autonomously to your benefit the whole time. We also have the marketplace, which enables people to monetize their agents. So on the supply side, developers can come and build agents that other agents can buy services from. And so all of the agents in Pearl are actually demand side of the MEC marketplace. And we have a rich ecosystem supporting developers. We have $1 million dedicated via the Olas Accelerator for builders of the best agent applications in Pearl. And underlying this is the Olas token. This is used underneath the hood for both of these. So we'll dive into a little bit more about how both of those work. So the user has to use the Olas token in order to gain access to the products. Actually, today you don't even have to bother acquiring that yourself. If you download Pearl, then your agent will do that for you. You choose a use case. So there's use cases here in DeFi, as well as the prediction agents, which are predicting the future. And then if your agent runs into a skill that it doesn't already have, then it can simply buy that without you having to create a whole extra capability. So for example, say your DeFi agent or your prediction agent wants to use a different model that it doesn't have access to, it can simply contract the other agent, which does have that skill. And the payments include Olas, and the Olas protocol actually takes a cut of the fees in the MEC marketplace and uses those to buy back Olas and burn it. So you can see there's a bit of a flywheel emerging here, where you have the more users that you have, the more Pearl agents you have, the more Pearl agents you have, the more MEC marketplace transactions that you have, and it's all driving use of the token. So how is olas different to other projects? We already highlighted the self-custodial nature. This stands in contrast to something where it's centrally owned, particularly in Web 2. And it's also different in the sense that you can monetize it, standing in contrast to Web 3 projects, which potentially have elements of Web 3. Maybe some of the on-chain is decentralized, but a lot of it, what makes it really work is off-chain, and that's not decentralized. That works as long as that works, and then you run into issues. And perhaps the on-chain is actually connected to things that are very opaque. So everything is very, very transparent. And you can see that there's then agent-to-agent economies emerging with the economics that are built into this whole system. The agents that are in Perl are autonomous. So from the beginning, we've never really been interested in building agents which require you to sit at your computer and work clicking transactions and, doing work for it. What we're interested in is an experience where you are able to start your agent and it works autonomously on high-level goals. So not kind of move this ETH from here to here, but something like make me healthier, make me wealthier, and it figures out the steps between that, and you get to go away and do whatever it is that you want to do. And previously, the kind of status quo is that to use really complex AI agents, you need developer experience, or you need to be really, really good at prompting. With Perl, that's taken away. All you need to do is download this simple desktop application on Mac, on Windows, click start, and it will start. So that's the theory. Let's take a look at some of the traction so far. So olas was the first AI agents on Ethereum in 2022. Today, we have over 2,700 agents live, and these have completed 11.4 million transactions. I highly encourage you to go and check this on-chain because, again, this is fully transparent. You can actually go and see those. And what does this mean if we give it a bit of a sense of scale? olas agents have actually completed over 52% of all the transactions ever made by a safe on Gnosis chain. So maybe you're thinking that this is like slightly smaller, but if this is how many transactions just 2,700 agents do, whilst it's not a case that the agents are kind of coming, they're clearly already here, you can see it's still the beginning. Like, how many transactions will we have once this number grows bigger? What are these agents doing? Well, we have hundreds of agents active every day in Perl. What we mean by this daily active agents is actually defined in olas staking, and olas staking is powered by a mechanism called proof of active agent. So it combines the best of proof of stake, proof of work, to prove that an agent is actually live doing useful activity for you. And if they are, they earn staking rewards, which is enabling your agent to potentially earn funds in Perl. If they're not, currently they're just evicted, but down the line it can be more complex. So again, we're not interested in showing you massive, massive numbers that are inflated. This is not only the agents which are in existence, but it's actually ones that were active consistently daily. So again, what are they doing? Well, you'll hear more about this later, but we had the first DeFi agent that you could actually fully own, and instances of it have done over 372% APR. Another interesting case is the predict economy. So in the predict economy, this has multiple different agents working together to form a complex economy predicting the future. So you have agents which are asking questions about the future. For instance, will Vitalik sing on stage by the end of the conference, yes or no? And another agent will go and think about that and come up with an answer. If it feels certain enough, it will place a bet, and then another agent will close the market. And so you've got multiple agents being triggered by this single prediction agent, and in total, the accuracy is up to 72%. So lots of real activity, real outcomes already. So we've talked about how olas is potentially different to other projects, but it's also very compatible with all the standardization protocols that we're hearing so much about. So I want to briefly touch on two of them. One of them is X402, which we heard about earlier. So currently what it means is that agents are able to make one-off payments for off-chain services. And this is something that was possible on Olas before. So Olas has been enabling agent-to-agent commerce since 2023. We have done over 9.1 million agent-to-agent transactions already. And now, by integrating X402, Olas agents are able to interoperate with all the agents that have integrated X402 and vice versa. We also have another standard, ERC 8004. If X402 was about agents paying each other, then this is about agents getting discovered and trusted. So we had our own way of doing this as well since 2022. Again, for the thousands of agents deployed already. And founding member David Monash was involved in shaping the standard since the beginning. So by integrating with ERC 8004, again, there's cross-ecosystem discoverability for all of these agents emerging. So if you take one thing away from today, I hope it's that Olas is a project that is not only kind of bringing agents for the future, but it's already allowing you to own your agents today, agents that are taking care of useful work for you so that you can go away and live your life. You can try this already with this little QR code. You can try it out there where we're funding free agents for you to try. And we'll leave you with this question. What will you outsource to your agent first? Thank you very much.